in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Earn your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out.
Did the white man tell us to read a book? Or did the white man tell us to go to church? He told us go to a church. And here's the thing, right? Give me Revelation 1. When we walk into the church, right? What's your religious background? Like, what's your family raised you in?
My mom, they're Christian Catholic.
I grew up Catholic, right? So when we go up in that Catholic church, right? We walk in there as an Haitian. Right? And there's somebody big as hell in that Catholic church. He definitely ain't Haitian, right? It's a white boy. So they never told us to read the book. They told us to go to church, and in church they indoctrinated us subconsciously with images of their superiority. But if they told us to read the book, this is what we would have found out 14.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So let me ask you something, right? The texture of wool. Can we compare the texture of a sheep's wool to your hair? Kind of, sort of. Okay, let's go.
As white as snow.
Read on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Read on.
And his feet.
His feet. Now his feet. Your feet the same color as the rest of you, right? Your feet are the same color as the rest of your body, correct? Okay, read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Unto what?
Unto fine brass.
Stop here. Fine brass. What color is brass? What is brass? Similar to copper, like a penny. Right? Fine brass, read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So imagine if you burnt a penny. That is the color of Jesus, right? According to the Bible. But when we go into the church, he's white. So that's what I'm saying. They never told us read the book. They told us go to church. They gave us institutions that were instruments of their indoctrination. But when you go back to the book, here's the thing about the book, right? It could be, you get the English version, French version, the Haitian Creole version. There's a million English versions, right? But all of these come from a source that's older than the white man touching it. 2,000, 3,000 years ago, right? So with understanding that, they had to get us away from it. When you go, especially Catholic, right? If you go to Catholic, how many verses they read in one mass? 2, 3. The most I ever heard read is 4 verses in mass. What they tell you on the board, these are the verses we're gonna read today. That's it. That's all you get out of this whole. You got this whole book, and you sit in there for 53 minutes, right? That's about how long the Catholic is. About 53 minutes, and you get 4 verses, right? But there's a reason for that, because it wasn't about teaching you this. Because when you actually reading this, you're actually reading about our people's history that's been stolen from us and spoon-fed back to us for the purpose of keeping us confined, right? Let me do it 28:16. Let me show you something, right? Because Haiti, right? How do we get there? Slavery, right? Ships. We ain't walk. On ships. Watch this.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now watch this. Moses. This is Moses talking. Deuteronomy 28. Moses. What did Moses do for his people, the Israelites? He saved them from Egypt. You don't remember that story about Moses walking, parting the Red Sea, walking out, right? But what were the Israelites doing in Egypt? Slaves, right? So we got to keep that in mind for the purpose of the context, right? Read it from the top.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Yeah.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Egypt again, right? So to the perspective of an Israelite, Egypt, that's slavery. That's what we went through hell with, right? Go ahead.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Hold on. They didn't need any ships to go into Egypt. They didn't need any ships to walk out of Egypt. But he said, you're going to go to Egypt again. with ships. That's key to understand, right? Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Read on.
And there ye shall be
When
sold
you get to this Egypt, you're going to be sold, right? Read.
unto your enemies.
Unto your friends.
Unto your enemies.
Who sold us? Who last name we got? Right, we got a white man last name, right?
Right.
We were sold unto our enemies. So understand that if Moses told the Israelites, listen, in the last days, this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to go into Egypt on a ship. Again, the perspective of Egypt is slavery. You're going to go into slavery on a ship and be sold to your enemies. Right? Now, if I say, okay, did that happen to my ancestor? Well, you damn right it did. We know it did, because how else we got all the way over here, right? So understanding, they never will read this to you in church ever, right? Because this is you reconnecting with your ancient history, right? So now, even when you talk about spirituality, right? So you can look up, can you give me in Leviticus, the ritual, what to do, sprinkling the blood, all that, right? Let's deal with spirituality, right? Let's deal with different things that are practiced amongst our people, dealing with ritualistic sacrifices, right? Cutting animals' heads, taking blood, putting it on altars. All that comes from the Bible. All that's in the book, right? So a lot of the things that we think are, the church told us was, but it's right here though, right? Who got an E5? Anybody got an E5? Anybody got an E5 piece? Anything? No? Nobody? Man. Right, so there's something. You got one? All right, I'm going to show you something to say. Go ahead. Let me know what you got there.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 16, verse 11. And Aaron shall bring the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and shall make an atonement for himself and for his house, and shall kill the bullock of sin offering, which is for himself.
Let me get it.
Verse 14.
Go ahead.
And he shall take of the blood of the bullock and sprinkle it with his finger upon the mercy seat.
So he's taking a bull, killing it, taking his blood, sprinkling it, right? Go ahead.
Mercy seat eastward, and before the mercy seat shall he sprinkle of the blood with his fingers 7 times.
So it's ritualistic. 7 times he's sprinkling that blood, right? Now, the Christians will tell us, well, that sounds like witchcraft, right? But this is the very book that they're supposed to be reading. But that's what the priesthood was about, right? So this is something too, right? This is a very small version. But this is what the priests would wear. We would wear it on our chest, and they had 12 different stones. You know, people tell the stones, that's witchcraft. You got a sapphire. You got an amethyst stone. That's witchcraft. Well, God said the priests had to wear this with 12 stones.
Right.
On our chest. Right? So again, when we talk about the spirituality and the ways of our ancestors, it really come back here. Go ahead. Right? They have to. Go ahead. Right? You know this 8? Give me that when he sprinkled the blood on the elders. Right? That's just a small version. We got a larger version. Usually somebody got a bigger one out here. Where is going? That's for you? Alright. Right? Where you going to? Salaki, you good? You think it's 8, I think, like around 11. Verse 11? Come 8 to 11 Leviticus.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 8 and verse 11.
Yeah.
And he sprinkled thereof upon the altar 7 times and anointed the altar.
See that? Sprinkling blood on the altar 7 times to anoint the altar. Read.
And all his vessels, both the laver and his foot, to sanctify them.
Right? So all the vessels had to get hit with that blood. That made it holy. Right? So that's not witchcraft. That's what God, the Most High, the Creator, instructed our ancestors to do. Right? So what we have to do is understand that we're rejecting the institution that the white man gave us, but we're reconnecting with the very thing that he tried to spoon feed back to us. Right? That's what we're out here to teach our people. So-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American people, especially the so-called Haitian people. We are the priests. When you read about the priests, that's talking about us. That's talking when you read about Moses, Aaron, John the Baptist. Why do you think those names are so prominent? Those same names, right? Why are they so prominent? That's a by coincidence? No. Those are our ancestors, right? Go ahead.
It's the book of Romans chapter 7 verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual.
The law is what?
The law is spiritual.
And that's what we're reading to you, the laws of God. The law is spirit. That's that spirituality. The law is spiritual. Read on.
But I am carnal.
But what?
But I am
Read
carnal.
on.
Sold under
See, that's the
sin.
problem. They want to keep. Give me Deuteronomy 1. Right? 1 and 41. See, because they want to keep us disconnected from the spiritual. That's what they want to keep us disconnected from, so they can keep an advantage. Remember, it said the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. Right? Go ahead.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 41. Then he answered and said unto me, we have sinned against the Lord.
Sin, right? So if the law is spiritual, doing things contrary to what is spiritual, that is sin. Right? Go ahead.
Against the Lord. We will go up and fight according to all that the Lord our God commanded us.
Read on.
And when ye had girded on every man his weapons of war, ye were ready to go up into the hill.
So they get ready to go to war, right? It's a history. The Israelites are getting ready to go to war, but they sinned before this, right? Read.
And the Lord said unto me,
said what?
and the Lord said unto me, say unto them,
Read on.
go not up,
Go not up. Read.
neither fight,
Don't fight. Go ahead.
for I am not among you.
I'm not with you because you sinned. Because you went against the spirituality that I've given to you, now you can't win. So I'm with you when you say we need to come back to our spirituality, right? Because that's how we're going to win.
Right.
Because God is not going to be with us if we're not doing that. That's what he's saying right here. Oh, y'all going to fight? Oh, I'm not with you. You're going to lose. Don't do that, right? If you go against the spirituality that I gave to you. So that's what we want to come out here and emphasize to our people, is the importance of reconnecting to that. The importance of taking back ownership of something that they stole. Because the people who are going around calling themselves the Israelites and the Jews today, they're the most powerful people in the world based off of an identity theft. So imagine somebody stole your identity and became the richest person in the world. That'd be crazy, right? But that's what's happened. Somebody stole your identity and became the richest person in the world. You good, sis, right? That was on that. Right? Get a sister a second. But all praise to the Most High, man. It's high time for the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, woman, and child to come back to our true identity and nationality as the Israelites, man. That's what time it is, right? Everybody having fun celebrating Haitian Flag Day, all praise to the Most High, but get you some of this information, because that's what you need, all right? Because we ain't gonna have another 1804, all right, if you don't get this information. Why ain't we had one 20 years? 20 years. It's a reason for that, man. It is a reason for that, man. Because the next one is gonna be in the kingdom, that's why. Right? That's what we trying to get out here, and it's gonna be with all the tribes. We try to go and save and liberate all the tribes. You know, we liberated some, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, etc. Right? But we weren't able to get the job done because we weren't the ones the Lord chose for that job. Right? But he did choose somebody for that job. That's his only begotten son of the world called Christ of Yahawah.
Right.
Let's get ready to get done. That's what I'm here to tell you, but we got to do our part in coming back to the laws, to the statutes and commandments. Give me the kingdom of heaven is within you. Right? You see that? Right? Who that? Who that?
Luke 17.
So I did on the street.
With the flag?
So who's that I'm talking about? You don't hear that Christian preacher? You don't hear that? I'm gonna go find him. He don't want to know. I'm gonna find that nigga. Let me get that, Luke. I'm gonna go find him. We ain't having that today. No, sir.
That's right.
No, sir. What is that? Luke 17:21? What they about?
20, I believe right there. 20.
Come on.
21, yeah.
It's the book
Let me
of
show you this to later. Right, go ahead.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 21.
Read on.
Now then shall they say, Lo here, or Lord there.
Read on.
For behold, the kingdom of God is within you.
That's so important for us to understand that the kingdom of God is within us. That power to manifest that into reality is bestowed within us collectively. You see what I'm saying? These are things that they don't want to tell us. They want us to think that we got to die to receive a kingdom that he already told. No, it's inside. Don't let anybody, matter of fact, we'll say that in the verse before. No, it said, come if not by observation, right? But people would deceive you on it. It's in the verse before? No, I'm saying that's him. Okay, we're going to see about him in a second. But he don't want nobody to deceive you and make you think you got to die to go to heaven. That's what they told a slave. Be good, and when you die, you'll get a reward. But according to the words of who the world called Jesus Christ, he said, no, the reward is already inside of you, and you have the power to manifest that reward in reality. See what I'm saying? You got a question, sis? All right, where we at? Precept, go ahead.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 10. And has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on earth.
And we shall what?
And we shall reign on earth.
Say you're gonna die to go to heaven.
And we shall reign on earth.
Say your reign, your rulership, being a king, a queen, whatever you want to call it, that's here on earth. That's gonna happen.
Right.
You won't. It's not something that you gotta. A miraculous thing you floating on clouds. No. Right here on earth. The white man got to rule on earth, didn't he? He get to have his way on the whole planet earth. Why we can't do that, right? Why we gotta die first? Don't nobody else gotta die before they get to have their way? Why we gotta first die to have our way? That's the okie doke they sold us where? In the institution, in church. Just be good, no matter what happens, keep your head down. That's not what got the Haitian flag made, though. That's right. Right? That whole mentality, that's not what it got that. No, we're not finna do this no more. I'm not finna keep with this machete, and I can't wait a minute. I have the weapon I need for liberation, right? But now here the problem is, see, the white man, he have a blessing from God, right? I'm gonna show you what his blessing is. Give me Deuteronomy 27. I'm gonna show you he got a certain blessing. There's a certain aspect that he cannot be beat with, right? Go ahead. 41.
Deuteronomy 27.
27, 41. No, it's like Genesis.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob.
No, it's like before that. 40. 40.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live.
That's his blessing, the sword, right? So if we figure out a way to beat him with a weapon, he's just gonna go back to the drawing board and create a different weapon, right? So right now, like he got a stealth bomber. He can fly a jet over somebody's hood, drop a bomb, that is gone, right? We ain't got nothing for that. It ain't hand to hand, not a fist fight. It's not even a gunfight, a sword fight. He gonna figure out a way that, okay, you can't be. So in this day and time, we're not gonna defeat him like we did 200 years ago, right? But what we have an edge on is spirituality. Because one thing he is not and can never be and will never be is spiritual, right? So now this is the weapon in which that we have to utilize against him and coming back to our spirituality, because this was going to make us undefeated because our God is undefeated. Where we at?
Right here. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
Read on.
And shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that
he was going to get power eventually, because there was a time in the earth where the white man was nobody. Because you know what the white man really is? A vagabond. That's all he is.
Right.
God.
Right.
He's filthy. Go ahead, sis. Ask away.
We're agreeing right now that the white man is the one with the power, right?
1,000%.
So it can say, if you follow my commands and whatnot, you shall reign. So doesn't that contradict the fact that the white man has the power?
Well, you know what he's saying is, he has the power, but we can obtain our power again. He didn't always have it. It's not the way it's always going to be. But this is the roadmap for us to regain our power, right? And the only way we lost our power was from not following the commandments in the first place. So through not following the commandments, he's been able to get into power. So through us coming back to the commandments, are we going to be able to regain our power, right? So it's all just a process. His power is not in perpetuity. His power is limited and it has a time limit on it, right? But the time limit is on us. See, because a lot of people have people thinking everybody's waiting on God. But God is really waiting on us. Because like he said, well, we read earlier, the kingdom of God is within us. So it's on us. You over here waiting on God. God looking at you like, no, I'm waiting on you. When are you going to get it together? When are you going to do what you need to do? I've given you the power, the abilities, the capabilities, the skills, everything that you need, the information that you need. Go out there and manifest a kingdom. Right? So that's the main thing. You have another question, though?
Well, it's still a follow-up question, because how could the white man get empowered if he's not following God's commandments?
Well, the problem is, God is not his God, right? Because people use the term God loosely, right? God got a name in the Bible, right? And translated to English, he got a name in the Hebrew. It's called Yahawah, right? So understanding that, he's the God of the Israelites. He's not the God of everybody else. He didn't make a covenant with everybody else. So everybody else don't have to follow his commandments. But when the Israelite, when we're disobedient to judge and to punish us, he'll allow people to come and do something to us. See what I'm saying? That's how it works, like a parent. If you want to discipline your child, you have to punish your child. Well, how do you discipline a whole group of people? Right? Go ahead.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 4. The Lord hath made all things for himself, even the wicked for the day of evil.
So he made the wicked people for an evil purpose. So their purpose was to come and be evil. And all they've been evil. We know that, right? So the only way to essentially defeat this evil purpose is to come back, like you said, to the commandments. Because that's where our power comes from. Our power, because there's a tactic that he has. It's called divide and conquer, right? So the number one thing is, he keep us divided. If we're divided, how can we ever defeat him? Because I'm going to tell you, it's one thing, these white people can argue. You can go turn on the TV, Democrats, Republicans, arguing till they blue in the face. But let it come down to you or them. You gonna see them white Democrats gonna magically agree all of a sudden. They're gonna, they just get on cold. They be on cold like you don't understand. Like when go ahead. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
So, to my knowledge, our ancestors did not follow a book, right? They had their practices. Speaking of our homeland Africa, right? They have their own practices. Yeah, it correlates to what they're saying, sacrifice, this, that, whatever, the third. And then we got brought over to here, amongst other places. And then the white men said, no, your way is wrong, it's demonic, blah, blah, blah. Follow my way. What you said is go to the church, which is also associated with that book. So then, how do you explain, like, our ancestors, what were they doing? Because that's not what they were following. They were doing their own thing. You get what I mean?
You've been to the zoo before? Can I take a lion out of the zoo and put him in the jungle and expect him to survive? No. A domesticated lion that has spent his whole life in captivity will not survive the jungles of Africa. Right? So if I just follow your premise, right? Even if, yes, our ancestors didn't have a book, right, for their way, we have been in captivity and disconnected from all of that, right? So we're going to have to follow some guidelines if we want to reunite to that. Now, mind you, even the people over there in Africa right now have been colonized. The biggest churches, there's an African preacher I watch just for laughs. You go on this nigga live, it's 100,000 people. And you know what he's doing? And it's money. I'm talking about they giving so much money. And he's just doing this, oh my God, oh God, oh God, for 2 hours straight. So they're finished in Africa. You see what I'm saying? With the same type of indoctrination. So what I'm saying is, these are the breadcrumbs that our ancestors 2,000 years ago left behind. Somebody got a hold of it, took it, and spoon-fed it. But we got to go with something because we can't just expect to get back after all of this happened.
Precept.
You see what I'm saying? Precept?
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Where there is no vision. We got to have that vision. Go ahead.
But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
And that's important because when we go back to the laws, that regulation, because every nation, group of people is based on a law. Every society is based on a law and order. So if we simply go back to that law and order and utilize it to govern ourselves, to rule ourselves, that right there is going to be the driving force that we need, because we know how to deal with each other in a certain way. There's laws in there that say if you see somebody life in danger, that you have to intervene. You can't opt to say, I'm just going to let this person die, right? Things like that. So there's a level of love and care that is implicit there that we have to follow, right? So things like that is what we really need as a people to follow, in a code that we need to stick to, that's going to empower us. And to prove it, there's a group of people that follow it and they're empowered. They're called Jewish people. You know, they probably own the deed of the house where we pay rent to. You see what I'm saying? That's how that works. So they follow that and they've enriched and empowered themselves. But the whole time it's really for our ancestors. It's never been for them, right? Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 25.
Bring it out.
Let us now lie down in shame and cover ourselves with dishonor, for we and our ancestors have sinned against the Lord our God.
And that's the problem. See, because at some point our ancestors went wrong. And that's the only reason why these other people have been allowed or had any opportunity to get an advantage over us through sin. So we have to just stop sinning. Which sin is what? Breaking the commandments of God. That's simple. We stop sinning, we're gonna start winning. As a collective, not because some people be caught up on individuality too much. Well, I'm already worried about me. No, we're talking about all of our people collectively. That's right. We're gonna have to get in this collectively, not just one man or one woman at a time. You see what I'm saying? Makes sense to Leah? All praise to the Most High. She got get you a flyer or something? Give it to your friend. You need to follow us on Instagram, YouTube. You need to log in with us, man, because I'm telling you, it's, you know, you're just getting the entry level stuff. It's so much deeper than this, right? Where you live at? What city? In Fort Lauderdale? Where these brothers at? These brothers' school is up there, right there on Broward Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. You know, my school is right in North Miami Beach, right? Well, you gonna get in relation with that. Make sure she gave it to her friend. Right, but there's just so much information. So, oh my God, so much abundant information, and we just are in such desperate need for it. Such desperate need. Go ahead, let's read.
It's the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
Exactly.
Whole world going crazy. Can't be caught slipping, I be in these scripts for safety. I'm protected from evil, as long as I'm keeping commandments, I know he looks out for me. Gotta wake up the people, show them the signs in the scriptures, cause that's what they about to see. Last days, put my faith in the Most High, read the Bible from the front to the back page, I cannot backtrace.